Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin dominance. Now, dominance is still holding this uptrend. It hasn't broken this ascending channel. And when you take a look at Bitcoin dominance on a line chart, or even a line with markers, you can see that the move on October 10th was a spike or an outlier in the prevailing trend, and then we had just a reversion back to the mean. And now to a good way to find means and moving averages is to just place a channel on the chart with a internal line in the chart. So you see how it can come down to the middle of the channel here? You see how it can come down to the middle of the channel? Right here. So it did that. It did that right here. You see where I'm circling? And now yesterday we printed a inverted hammer. And whenever you print an inverted hammer, you see how so every candle here represents one day. Whenever you print an inverted hammer, the next day is usually going to be a green day reaching for that day's highs. So that's exactly what we're doing. And then we're pushing up off of the upper channel support. So we touched the middle about 4 times now. Here's once. Right, here's once, 2 times, 5 times right here. Okay, touched it 5 times and now we're above it. So that's just a good way to check the trend, and so far we are trending up. Nothing is telling us that we're going to come down as of yet. A bull can argue, or an altcoin bull could argue, that we're just coming down, we're just coming up for an ABC correction, and this over here would just be a 3-wave move up. And that was actually this was actually my base case, right? For some time, we called the bottom perfectly in the Discord on Bitcoin dominance in and around September, and we said that this was your ABC up. And then it perfectly went up to our target and shot back down. Then what I was waiting for is for the price to continue on lower like that. But considering it just came down and then slowly started to grind back up like that, then my base case shifted to that, okay, no wait, this may cut, that move over there might have just been a reversion back to the mean. Right over here, you see this move? That could have been a reversion back to the mean, and now we go back up to fill that wick or even make a new all-time high, right? And that would leave the doors open to the interpretation that this could have just been an ABC down, retesting the support since June of 2024. Okay. So that's Bitcoin dominance. We need to break support. In order for us to get bullish on altcoins right now, liquidity is flowing to the king, and that is BTC. But what is BTC doing? Let's take a look. I have so many BTC charts that I want to share with you guys, and we'll go over a few in today's video. So let's take a look here. Okay, so take a look at the 90-minute time frame. And we'll take a look at this. On this chart right here. And take a look here at we'll first take a look at the 2-week, and then we'll come back down to the small time frame. So this is the 2-week, right? the last 2-week candle printed a bearish hammer, and that's this low right here. So that's this candle right here, and this was the low. But those look like weak lows, right? The reason they look like weak lows is because of just the way the candle formed. Whenever you get that first liquidation event on the high time frame and then see a push up, you're likely to take out those lows with the next push down, right? So now the current 2-week is reaching toward the midway point of the last session. So we can assume that these lows would be the next draw on liquidity, and then this, and then these lows, which are which is the last push up before we went into this 100+ day long range. So these lows right here, that's your next draw on liquidity. Moreover, you just have a trend line liquidity right here. So you have a lot of longs, buy stops stacking up underneath this trend line. Okay, so I think it's going to get taken out on the high time frame, and then when you take a look here at the small time frame, and you open up the RSI, you can see here that you have bearish divergence. So look, you have higher highs here. Let's take a look at this on the 90-minute RSI. Let's see. So you have a higher high on the 90-minute RSI, but a lower high on the price right here, slight lower high. So it may break down from that, or if we end up getting above it on the hourly time frame, then it's likely we're going to manipulate a little bit upwards. I'm going to show you guys a chart that I made here on this layout. I'm going to show you guys a chart here. Sorry, my dog is just going crazy here. Let me just open it up here. Okay, here's the wave count. So it's either wave 2 of 3 is in, okay, or we have a little bit more juice left. Now, we did come up just shy of the 50% fib relative to the October 27th highs. Right, came just shy of the 50%. So we could turn down from here, and then I was showing you that divergence. Right, so we could be already in wave 3 of 3 to the downside. Or we get above the 618 at 112.504, and then end up getting above the 786, which would confirm a move above these equal highs, which was set on October 13th, right? And then maybe this could be a diagonal structure, and then we break down. Like this looks like a full-on bear flag, even if it were to come up here, right? Because it could do this, it could do A, B, C, like that, and then come down. So we want to look for definitive breaks, but so far it is turning down below the 0.382. Now, in the case we get a move above the 618 here, and we don't end up fading back down, and we go above this level with volume, then it's likely we're going to break out towards the highs and even make a new all-time high. Okay. Around 131 to 134, around there. See, this is just a 106 plus day long distribution range. I think this is what's going to happen. And that would be a 5-wave move. And this over here would be your A, B, and C. 3 down in your A, 3 up in your B, and then a 5 down in your C here. Like that. But if we get if we get above the equal high and above 117,326, that would likely confirm a move to the next high. So let's take a look at another chart here. Take a look here. And I'll show you that we're missing a third floor. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this was the chart I presented to my Discord members not too long ago. And as we were rising over here, I was pointing out that you have buy stops located underneath these trend lines. You see? Buy stops located underneath. This is your first floor. This is your second floor, but the structure looks unbalanced, right? It looks very unbalanced, so you'd want to look for a third sweep. And this goes back in reference to my 3 floors strategy. So whenever you're after a capitulation event in the crypto market, the algos make it so that you form 3 floors. I talk about this in many of my videos. It doesn't always have to happen, but so far it's looking like price wants to make that next floor. This is your 1, 2, and then we're missing this third one. Doesn't have to happen. I mean, we can reverse from here, but it does look like it wants to take out this liquidity more. We slightly sweep that low, and then we ended up coming up a bit. But I think this is whenever you get a sweep, you have to determine if the sweep is valid enough to produce a reversal or if it's just a fake out. And this just looks like a fake out before we go in for our larger draw on liquidity. So that would be the third floor there. And, I wanted to point out here, when we take a look here at total, it does look like it's turning down here. Let's take a look at this layout. And we can see that on the 3-day, we've hit the 1.618, and this looks like a blow off top has already happened. It just looks like not many of the coins participated because there's not enough breadth in the market, right? There's only a few coins holding everything up. Not a few, but like I would say, the ones that had narratives, the ones that ran, right? But looks like the bubble is gonna pop here, because this over here, when you take a look at the MACD, take a look at it on the monthly. Look at the monthly here. You see the last month, the last monthly candle, which was October, we printed a bearish engulfing. And the monthly MACD hasn't turned down yet, but I know it's going to turn down. We know it's going to turn down because the histogram is turning down towards the 0 line. Do you guys see that? You see? So it's likely that in November, which is this month, you're going to see that MACD finally cross below the signal line. The signal line is orange, and the MACD is blue. So you're going to see a cross down, but you know it's likely to happen because the histogram is showing the histogram is the first signal to show that. Okay, and then you have the candle to go with it. Now I want to show you how amazing fibs are in the market. We can put all of these fibs on the chart, and you can see the algo respects it so well. Let's take a look. Okay, we'll add one more here. Okay, you see, if we just take a fib from the last all-time high in 2021, like just over here, right here. So from the close of the candle, of the 2-week candle that marked the top in the last cycle, down to the low, or down to the close of the bottom, so the average rather than wick to wick, we can see that we went up to the 100% fib, came very close to it, came down to the 786, saw a retrace, then came down to the 50% fib. Then we went up to the 1.382, came down to the 1.236, came up to the 1.382, and then fell down to the 786. Then we went above the 1.236, came down a bit, and then we went up to the 1.618, coming down to the 1.382. So you see how one fib can determine all of these movements, right? In regards to the pivot points, right? You don't have to place so much fibs on the chart. You can actually just use one, and you can see how well the algo respects it. So what I'm thinking over here, now that we've hit the 1.618 and we were unable to get a close above it, take a closer look at the monthly time frame. Okay, this is the 1 month. We have 4 months of price action. Okay, so far, this is your first high, this is your second high. Here, let me highlight this instead so you guys can see your first high, your second high, and your third high. Now what did we do with the high in the month of October? We swept all of those highs, and then we retracted back down and closed we opened right at the close of the last month candle in September, and then we closed at the bottom of the range, right below. So it's showing like the candle theory, candle bias. If we were to just form a bias off the candle, it would say that the next draw on liquidity would be right down to this 100% fib here at 2.78 trillion. That would make the most sense, right, from just a candle perspective. So that's what I just wanted to show. in the market. Just a very quick update on what I see. You know, I was gonna make this video private, but I wanted you guys to see this one because I think we're at a very pivotal time, pivotal moment, and I don't want you guys to miss that. However, if you're looking for a little bit more of a, you know, tailored experience, a little bit more personal, then click the link in the description below to join the Discord. And there's also a free Telegram in there in which I give daily alpha every day. So I do think that total gets back down to the 100% fib. It's very important to watch the MACD RSI, and you can see that the MACD is already crossed down, or sorry, is about to cross down on the monthly, but on the 3 week, it's about to do it. Or on the 2 week here, it's already crossed down. You guys see? So this is just a faster signal, that's all it is. Now I also wanted to show something before I end this video. Just before. Take a look here at total on the daily. It's about to break down here. This is Wyckoff distribution. Okay? Until we get over that median, then this is distribution until proven otherwise. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you guys in the next one.